Hi everyone, it's Kate from Wildly Unprepared. I don't know why I say that every single time because you can obviously tell it's me and you're watching Wildly Unprepared, but I'm back and I'm doing another video on Malawi. Now, while I have hopefully so far inspired you to want to go on a trip like this or give back in some capacity, I am going to get down to more of the nitty-gritty in this video, and I'm going to talk to you about fundraising and funding a missions trip. Yes. I know when I start to talk about money, all of y'all freak out. I understand. Money is scary, money can be tight, it's no joke. And we all have things that we have to pay for. We have to pay for our apartments, for clothes, for activities, for food. Hello, food. So yeah, we have a lot of funds that we have to worry about, especially in LA where everything's like 10 times more expensive for whatever reason. So I get it, and money issues and concerns are the #1 thing that I hear from people as to why they don't go on a missions trip, and it's totally understandable. It's terrifying to have to spend money on all of this and then somehow raise upwards of like $4K to go on these trips. That's terrifying. I understand. You're not alone in that. There are lots of sacrifices that come into going on a missions trip. You're giving up time at work, you're giving up time with friends and family back home, you're sacrificing a ton of time and effort and energy, and then the most terrifying, scary sacrifice of all is the money. Now, this is my second year going to Malawi, and Malawi will cost $3,900 for me, and then I might hopefully be going to Lebanon with Mosaic Global later on in the summer, and that's going to cost an extra $2,500. Add on the fact that I have this apartment that costs way more than I would like to admit, plus car insurance, food, and I'm a freelancer, so when I'm gone, I don't get paid time off. I just lose money. I'm not making any money. So a lot of factors to consider. And I don't have that money. I do not have enough in my savings to afford both of those trips, even one of those trips, plus this apartment and millions of other things that I do and spend money on. I don't have it. And that's really scary. But while it's scary, it's something that I've actually never struggled with, which may sound arrogant or whatever, but I've just done a lot of hard work to not have to worry about that. So tithing, while I have struggled with so many other areas of my faith, tithing is not one of those things. I think it's just because growing up, my dad was very, very persistent on giving and going above and beyond his tithe, which, if you don't know, tithing in the Bible is giving 10% of your income back to the church, back to God. But my dad went beyond tithing. He was generous. So he wouldn't just give 10%, he would give more because he believed in the mission of the church and what God is doing in this world, and he has a responsibility and wants to play a part in that. So I learned at a very young age how to be generous. And generosity looks different. It can be, giving your time to drive someone who doesn't have a car to the airport, or it can be paying for someone's ticket to get to Mosaic Conference who maybe can't afford it. It can look very different, and it can also be in your tithing, going above and beyond that 10%. Going on a missions trip is more than just tithing. I'm not just giving 10%. I am fundraising a ton of money to get myself and my team over to those locations. And you're probably watching this and thinking, what on earth is she going to do that much money? And she's a journalist? Yikes, no chance. And I've had those thoughts too. But at the end of the day, I have trusted God with my money over and over again, and every single time He's had my back. He's had a person help me out, or He's given me a new hosting job that raised me a lot of money, earned me a lot of money within just 3 days, or He's given me new opportunities to raise money or babysitting, you name it. He always comes through. And people are always like, how on earth do you afford to live in LA and do everything? And I'm like, I don't have a concrete answer for that because I'm not making enough from my job and I'm spending a lot. But the only explanation when it comes down to it is God. God's got my back. So when it comes to you wanting to do a missions trip like this, me wanting to do these, I don't worry because I know that I'm going over there and I'm doing something for Jesus, and I'm loving His people, which He's called me to do, and I'm expanding His mission and being a part of something bigger than myself. And God's going to honor that. He's going to come through. He always comes through. And you may watch this and think I'm crazy, or you don't even have any familiarity with the Bible or God or tithing. But basically, it's just believing in something more than yourself and having faith that somebody, God, is going to show up for you. And God shows up every single time in every single way. And once you start to allow Him to, and you start to recognize it, you will see it in every area of your life. When it comes to the Mosaic trips, there are certain things that we teach our volunteers and that we instill and train them when it comes to fundraising. So there are a few different rules and aspects that go into it, and one of them is that we don't ask for money from people within the church, because we want those people to still be obedient in their tithing and giving that 10% or more. And asking only Mosaic people may take away from that. Another thing is that we don't ask for money via social media or GoFundMe or other online platforms like that. And you may hear that and think, what on earth, that's really stupid. But when you understand why we do it, it's not stupid at all. So we don't blast our need for fundraising all over online platforms, because we may be raising money, but there's a deeper reason as to why we're going on this trip. And we want anybody who contributes to our trip to know our why, to know what in our hearts has caused us to want to go over there. And it's an incredible way for us to tell our story and what goes on in Malawi, what Mosaic Global does. And if I'm doing that just via an Instagram story, I'm not actually showing my heart and my passion and explaining my why. So that's why it's really important for us that anybody that you ask to help support you financially or in any other way, you're doing it face-to-face or through a letter or a phone call. You're doing it on a one-by-one basis with a person and explaining to them why you're even asking that crazy question. And I gotta say, last year when I went, at first I was like, I can't ask people for this. Like, they're gonna think I'm so annoying, they're not gonna give. But I just decided to risk it. I decided to step out of my comfort zone and to text people, call people, email, write letters, get lunches with people, and explain to them, hey, I want to go on this trip, and we're doing this over there, and I need help getting there. I can't do it on my own. Will you be a part of this story and this journey? It was incredible to see how people and God showed up for me when I was going through that. At the end of everything, I didn't spend a penny of my money to get to Malawi last year. I had people coming in from all over the place, Venmoing me or sending me checks, wanting to be a part of what we were doing over there. And maybe they can't go because they work or something. So their way of contributing and being a part of the story is by helping other people get there, which is an incredible and beautiful thing. And it allowed me to have conversations with people that I wouldn't have had otherwise. Like, for example, with my aunt. I love my aunt. I asked her to help me out, and in response she wrote me this long letter that I now have in this journal that I kept in Malawi, where she got to share some of her heart and her faith with me in return. And it's just the most beautiful thing I've ever gotten, which is why it's pasted in here forever. So she wrote, as you head over to Africa, remember where your citizenship is. And at first I was like, America, I know. But then she went on to say, it may say California, USA, or your passport, but you are a child of God. Therefore, your citizenship is in heaven. And she wrote a verse next to it that says that, Philippians 3:20. She told me to wear the armor of God, the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, and all these other incredible, inspiring things that I needed to take with me on this journey, or I wouldn't have been able to do everything over there that we have to do, because it's not an easy trip. But because I shared with her that I was going and I told her why I want to go, she was able to give me so many words of encouragement and speak life into me that wouldn't have happened had I just posted it on Instagram. When it comes to fundraising, you can make it happen. Anything is possible. People want to play a part. They want to help out. And also you can do things like throw a car wash or a bake sale or other things that bring people in, people who maybe don't know about the church or who are new, and it's a way for you to build community. So it's not just that you're fundraising, you're also finding creative ways to connect people and get to know new people, and that goes way beyond just them Venmoing you $50. I swear to you, it's so cool to see how people will step out and they'll help and they want to be a part of things and build that community with you. And then on top of that, you gotta pray, you gotta trust, and you gotta believe. God wants to do amazing things through you, but He can't do them if you're just sitting on your butt watching that 70s show, which I was just watching, all the time. He needs you to act too. He's put capabilities and gifts inside of you for a reason, not to hide them from the world, but to show them to the world, to bring them to the world, to bring His love to the world. So when you are fundraising for a trip, you can't sit idly by and just expect some money to fall out of the sky. you gotta play your part. You gotta be looking for jobs, you gotta be fundraising, asking people, risking it. And the way you'll see God move in return is tenfold to any of the weirdness you're feeling from asking people for money. Before I got to Malawi, the fundraising was by far the most influential and inspiring and changing part of the entire journey for me. Just seeing how people had my back and how people wanted to, like I keep saying, be a part of this was so incredible. And witnessing how God moved through all of that to get me to a place that I did incredible things and that I had my whole heart changed. I mean, why would you not just step out and be bold and take that challenge and that risk and that plunge? Fundraising sounds scary, but honestly, it taught me so much and it was so cool to see. And even if I have so much money to raise for this trip, I'm excited for all that's going to happen through it. So that's my speech on fundraising. Don't be scared. God wants you to step out and to risk things. Life with God is not easy. When you step into a relationship with Jesus, it doesn't mean that everything gets simple and easy and everything's a-okay. It generally means that things are scarier and there's going to be more asked of you and you're going to be able to do bigger things. So go for it. Fundraise. Don't be scared of the money that goes into these trips because it is way, 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 way worth it. Okay. Bye guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you guys fundraise for trips you go on. Questions you have. Let me know. Okay.